Ons gaan gou aan. Ek het nou gister se video, julle was nie gister hier nie. So ek sal gister se vraag 2, 3 en 4 opbly op die groep. Ons maak nog vandag net die laaste twee vrae van vraag 4 klaar, dan vraag 5 en 6. En dan is ons gewex net hoe vandag ons kan gaan. So ek het gister gestop by daai skets. Nou dit is 2013 se vraagstel. 2013 question paper, you'll see they ask a lot of different type of questions. It changed a bit, but this is the furthest you can go back. Jy kan die verse wat jy kan teruggaan op die oomblik, op die huidige oomblik, is 2013 on the WCED sites. Nee? Van 2014 af het dit begin verander. So 2013 is jou laaste ou tipe vraagstel. En hulle vra nogal kwai lekker vrae en there's a few questions in here that you won't really find in the book, but it's good to know because some of the questions in 2016, 2015 are derived from these old questions. Hulle loop haal hom uit hierdie ou vrae uit. Hulle vra vir jou hierop, die vraag was, ek noem verduidelik 3 verskillende oxyacetylene swysmetodes of tegnieke. In English, name and explain 3 different methods or techniques of oxyacetylene welding. The answer will be linkerwaarts swystegniek, left, word gebruik vir sagte staal 5 mm te swys. We use the left welding technique for 5 mm. Regwaartse swystegniek, going right, word gebruik vir sagte staal dikker as 5 mm om te swys. It's used for steel thicker than 5 mm. Asseblief. Vertikale swys, die swysproses begin in die laagste punt van die swyslas en beweeg dan boontoe tot op die punt van die werkstuk. So then we've got the vertical welding method where you start at the lowest point and moving up. Those are the 3 welding methods for oxyacetylene welding. Vir gaswys is dit die 3 metodes. Baie van julle het dan vir my geskryf links en regs. Ek het so hier en daar 'n persentjie gegee. Maar baie van julle het ook some of you said start the welder. With what do you start? The key. Dit is hoe dit werk, boys. Alright. Discuss distortion or shrinking caused by heat generated during the welding process. Beskryf verwringing of krimping wat deur die hitte wat gedurende die swysproses afgegee word veroorsaak word. Nou, ons het gepraat van warping, nee, remember Mr. Fourie always told you if you weld too long on a piece of metal it starts warping. On our tabletops, those 5 mm tabletops, if you weld too much they started going wonky. Hulle het so begin buig en goed. Hulle ek of jy see op hom sit. Hier's manne, ek sien jy kyk vir hulle. Hier's manne wat nou vandag kan weld, né? Moet nou nie kom spot nie. As jy oor toe maak en ons weet wie dit is. Metaal sit uit wanneer dit verhit word en krimp in wanneer dit afkoel. So metal, it expands when heated and it shrinks in when it cools down. Die krimp van geswyste metaal en swyslopies veroorsaak verwringing in plate wanneer dit afkoel. Krimping vind plaas in alle rigtings terselfdertyd en daarom veroorsaak dit verskillende tipes verwringing. So as it cools down, it starts warping. It pulls into different shapes. That's why when we weld, we try to weld as quick as possible, so it doesn't heat too much, because if it expands when it heats, it's going to shrink when it cools down. Dis hoekom, julle sal sien met die Graad 11 se varkie projek. Hulle bou mos 'n varkie, ja. Dan swys hulle een loopie, dan stop hulle in die helfte. Dan draai hulle die ding om, dan swys hulle van die ander kant af. When the grade 11s build their ovens that they're building, they start at one point, they move to halfway and then they stop, and then they start from the other end moving halfway, so the metal doesn't warp. They already made the mistake. Some of them already started welding one way through. Another thing goes like this. Nou is hy skief. Nou wil hy ding, hy is nou heeltemal van sy gloria, hy wil nou niks maak nie. En ja, hulle het eers probeer tekkie.
Ons is geen lede wat net oral se tek.
Ja, maar as ek hier regie. Daai perde, as jy dit opmors, skuld hulle my R500. If they mess it up, they owe me $500. Because that's what it costs to bend those steel plates for them. Hulle sal betaal, meneer. Haai, kom ons gaan aan. Jy bly met julle wees, julle het nog nooit betaal vir iets.
Ons is die eerste.
State 2 ways to control distortion of welding runs. Noem 2 maniere om verwringing van swyslopies te beheer. Dit is vooraf instelling, swys van lapwerk, klamping in spot of tag sway. So you can tack weld, clamp the piece of metal down. You can also weld, like I explained now, one end, then to the other end, from end to end. And you can also practice run. Get a piece of scrap metal, the thickness of the metal you are welding, and get your welding machine set to the right ampage. Baie van ons ouens maak die fout. Die enigste matriek wat dit nog altyd gedoen het, is Marcel. Baie van julle, all of you, you all do use scratch plates. I've seen you use it. But Marcel would literally go and take a piece of the metal and he will see at what ampage it melts. And then he will work between it. Dis hoekom hy so lank vat. Want Marcel werk fisies uit. Waar is my limiet? Waar is my limiet? Ek haal my hoed af vir hom. Ek vat baie tyd. Ons dink altyd die ou vat lank, maar hy doen sy ding. Nou gaan ons na vraag 5 toe. Gereedskap, implemente en toerusting. We're going to tools, implements and equipment. Kom hy nou. Beskikbaar vir die foto van baalmasjien hieronder en beantwoord dan die vraag wat gevolg word. Verduidelik die term tydreëling van 'n baalmeganisme op die ramtipe baler. Tools, implements and equipment. Study the photograph of the baling machine below and answer the questions that follow. Explain the term timing of the bale mechanism as found on the ram type of baler. Dit is die presiese oomblik wanneer die naalde die baaltou oplig sodat die saamgeperste hooi kan vasgebind word. So timing is basically when the needle threads the baling rope through the bale at the exact time to tie it down. Yes, as die timing nie reg is, dan koek hy. So die ding is nou, die volgens die timing bel, is die baal al daar, so dan kom hy naald en hy stiek verby en daar's niks. Hy stiek wind. Hy tackle mis soos 'n bloubil vleuel. Hy kan niks maak nie. He misses, if the timing is off, it misses. Like a gunshot in Chicago. It's never on the right spot.
Yeah, so that's 100% so.
You can't shoot left and aim right, né? Because name 3 tasks that should be performed during maintenance of baling machines.
So it's November one.
Yes, this is in November 1, 2030.
Okay.
Noem 3 take wat uitgevoer word wanneer instandhouding op baalmasjiene gedoen word. Ons kyk na die smering, look at the grease. Kyk na al die laars, beide die ratte, of belde en ratte. Wat is 'n laar nou weer? Anybody? Ball bearing. Laar is 'n bearing. We look at all the bearings, belts and gears. Gaan alle veiligheidskoppelaars na. We look at all our safety. Jong, ons trek laar. Jou punte is laag as laas jaar. Jou bearing. Maak alle lemme skerp, sharpen all blades. Kyk na die banddruk, look at the tire pressure. Kyk na die boutspanning, look at the tension on all our nuts and bolts. En inspekteer die onderstel en bande vir skade. Please check that all your tires and your undercarriage is not damaged. Dan was daar 'n vraag in die laaste toets wat julle gegee het. Indicate the safety mechanism that can be found on the ram type baling machine. Wat 'n veiligheidsmeganisme het ons op 'n ram tipe baler? Dit is 'n clutch, 'n glykoppelaar of skerms of 'n afringbout of die ram stop veiligheidsmeganisme. So if you name any one of those, sharp. As jy enige van hulle gegooi het, dan sê hy reg. Ek weet Nathan weet hy met die clutch geskryf haar. Drop suspension, hy tipe goed, maar die clutch was daar. Van julle maar het dan wild geraai, mense. The photograph below shows a farm implement connected to a tractor. Wys hulle vir jou plaas implement gekoppel aan 'n trekker.
Wanneer begin lyk soos 'n trekker as dit 'n mobile kragstasie vir baie van die implemente.
Ja, dit lyk so. Dit is hoe jy PTO het. Describe the mechanism that is used to connect the implement to the tractor. Wat se meganisme gebruik is om die implement aan die trekker te koppel? Die naam is die kruiskoppeling. Dis so jammer, die 3-punt meganisme wat bestaan uit 2 opligarms en die boonste stang. So it's our 3-point mechanism that we connect the tractor to. Wat het ons die naam wat jy gesê het? Nee, no. Do not connect Gert to the tractor. Okay. Vir die mense wat luister, een van my seuns sê, jy sê net vir Gert, daar kom. The power takeoff or the PTO shaft is used as a drive shaft between the tractor and the implement. Name the device that enables the power takeoff shaft or the PTO shaft to operate at different angles. Die krag aftakas. Dis die Afrikaanse woord vir PTO. Word as 'n dryfas tussen die trekker en die implement gebruik. Noem 'n toestel wat die PTO as moontlik maak om om teen die verskillende hoeke te kan werk. Die toestel wat ons kyk na is 'n kruiskoppeling. As ek daai Engelse woord kan onthou, jammer julle. CJ, what do we say in English if we don't know it? Gaan soek. Die crosskoppeling, ja. No, I'll get it to you now in English. I've got the English memo, I'll just send it to you. Alright, state 3 requirements that a safety screen must comply with to prevent injuries. Noem 3 vereistes waaraan 'n veiligheidsskerm moet voldoen om beserings te voorkom. Dit moet sterk wees, moet nie loskom nie, moet nie swaar wees nie, moet die voldoende beskerming bied en kan maklik afgehaal en installeer word. So it must be strong, it mustn't be able to come loose, it mustn't be too heavy, it must cover the whole PTO with the shaft, and it must also be easily replaced and removed. Wat 'n gulletjie was daai? Name 3 types of capital associated with a farm enterprise. Noem 3 tipes kapitaal wat in die boerderyvertakking geassosieer word. Kom die EBW die besigheidsstudies manne, hier kom dit nou. Vaste kapitaal, beweeglike kapitaal en werkende en floatende kapitaal. So it's our 3 types of capital we have. Fixed capital. Hoe kan ek die ander 2 onthou nie? Ja, dit is nogal moving capital. And then also capital we need to run the business. So this is, I know this is part of process capital, yeah. This is part of agri-management, but it's also part of agri-tech because we buy equipment with this. Ons koop toerusting met dit. Dit is hoekom ons in landbou tech dit moet weet. Ons moet dit weet. We have to know this term. We're not buying cows, we're buying the goats that keep the cow in. We're buying the tractor that plants the feed for the cow. We need to know these terms. Ons moet die terme ken. Dit so, ja, die landbou tech, ek gaan later vir julle 'n storie vertel. Nou kom hy nou. This is why agri-tech is actually a combination of the two, because you must understand the other section and your section. Jy moet bestuur verstaan en tech verstaan. En ek hoop die mense wat luister, moet 'n bietjie hoor vir ons. Landbou tech is nie net vir manne wat wil swys nie. Daar's actually 'n bietjie werk gekoppel hieraan. 'n Bietjie dinkwerk. By Jan Kriel dink ons hard. State 4 problems that can occur when using a combine harvester. Geef vir my 4 probleme wat kan voorkom wanneer ons 'n stroper gebruik. Verloor koringkorrels as gevolg van wires wat verkeerd gestel is. We lose a lot of our wheat because of our fans that are not set correctly. Compacteerder breek korrels. The compactor breaks our wheat. Te veel vreemde artikels, too many foreign objects. Mechanische probleme, die belde wat breek, mechanical problems, belts breaking, electrics or electronical problems. Of ja, of John Deere kan nie stroper op nat landerye gebruik. You can't use it on wet lands. And also die blokkade, it gets blocked by blockages. Die uitspuit, yes. The efficient working of a tractor gearbox is made possible by a combination of gears to achieve the best possible ratio of the specific job. The illustration below shows the type of gear set that can be used in the gearbox of a tractor. Identify the type of gear set shown in the illustration above. Jy wil vir my sê, wat se tipe radstelsel is dit? Reguit radstelsel. It's basically our straight gear. You did this in grade 9 in technology. You know, Nathaniel remembers quite well. By Mr. Papi's 10 to 1. Well, Philip. Right. Name one advantage of this type of gear. Wat is die een voordeel van hierdie rad? Dit hou baie lank. It really lasts a long time. As alles of niks, ja. State the 3 types of gearboxes commonly used in tractors. Gee die 3 tipe radkaste wat ons gewoonlik in trekkers gebruik. Die handradkas, die permanente inkram radkas, die gesinskonstruerende radkas, die outomatiese radkas en die triptoniese radkas. So triptonic, automatic, and then our normal manual gearboxes. Yeah, can you hear me? Ek weet. I will send it to you now. I'm sorry to my English. Family gearbox. Sorry guys for that. Not having it on the board yet. Alright. Kom ons gaan gou aan. Daar is 'n hamermill. This is a hammer mill. State 4 factors that must be considered when buying a new hammer mill. Wanneer ons 'n nuwe hamermill koop, wat is die 4 faktore? Is dit stewige konstruksie? Is it a strong construction? Vervangbare sluitende onderdele. Can we replace its parts if it breaks? Die rotor omhulsel moet digsluit. The rotary the rotor cap must be able to seal tightly. Die grootte van die geetbak, the size of the funnel that it goes in, die sterkte van die kragbron, how strong is the power supply, die hoeveelheid en die tipe voer wat gemaal moet word, the type of feed that we're putting through the mill, the cost, die koste en die doel van gebruik, and the goal, why do we use it? We're going to buy the hammer mill just because we want a hammer mill, or we're going to buy it to use it to make feed, type of something like that. That'll also depend on the type of thing that you buy. Like when I went to Afrox today, I was looking for a specific welder. They asked me, what do we want to use it for? Normal DIY, or do you want to use it for industry style? What do you think I chose? Industrieel. Industrieel, want ons is 90 kinders wat landbou tech vat by Jan Kriel. That machine will be working 24/7. Oh, yes, Nathaniel, just for you, industrial strength. The biggest one, yeah. State 3 advantages of installing a hammer mill on a level surface. 3 voordele van 'n hammer mill op 'n plat area. Die massa van die bewegende dele moet egalig oor die bearing versprei word. Die sikloonstofvanger hang gelyk met die blaaspyp en dit lyk netjies. So it looks nice. The mass is evenly distributed and all our pipes and stuff are now level. I know I'm rushing a bit, but I want to finish this, so I want to go show you a few things that we got from Afrox. Name 5 safety measures that should be taken when working with a hammer mill. Wat is 5 veiligheidsaspekte wat jy nou moet kyk wanneer jy met 'n hamermill werk, Lanelda? Moenie aan die masjien werk as dit beweeg nie. Please do not fix something while it's still moving. So CJ, you don't go into the hammer mill while it's still hammering nie. Gaan lê daar onder en dan probeer jy iets regmaak. Maak seker dat daar geen losvoorwerpe binne die masjien is nie. No loose objects inside the hammer mill. Gebruik veiligheidstoerusting. Guys, always wear your safety equipment. Always wear your safety equipment. As you can see, my camera is off, so you know, always wear your safety equipment. Like the goggles that you guys wear here and not here.
What about Lisa? What about Lisa? Sir, I have to wait 6 days, sir.
Kos gaan aan. Moenie masjien gebruik as die rotor van balans af, as jy moenie so fyn gevoelig wees julle. Do not use the machine if the rotor is off balance. Gebruik in 'n goed geventileerde area. Always using a well ventilated area. Yes. Klein stofdeeltjies, afvalmateriaal moet weggehou word van die voer af. Dit kan ook 'n vonk maak wat dan 'n stofontploffing veroorsaak. So guys, try to keep the dust particles away from the feed because it can cause a dust explosion. Like I explained to you with the Mazina and the flame. I'm going to show you that one day. Gebruik korrek Gebruik korrek en moet nie oorlaai nie. Always use it for the right job and don't overload it. Geen ongematigde persone naby nie. Guys, if there's somebody around you while working with us that is not qualified, tell them to leave. As jy nie gekwalifiseer is, jy moet dit nie werk. Ek sien Rolof se oë. Weer eens Rolof, maak net seker almal is OHS gekwalifiseer. Welcome to the land of OSHA violations. Waterbestuur, besproeiing. Last question. Yes, water management. The correct application of water is important for water conservation. Name 3 factors that must be considered when planning a water scheduling program. 3 faktore wat ons in ag moet neem wanneer ons 'n waterbestuurprogram opsit. Kwaliteit van die water, the quality of the water. Hoe dikwels besproei word, how many times a week do we put up water into our farm? Duur van toediening, how long will it be running? Topografie, how is my farm situated? Is it hills and valleys or is it flat? Hoeveelheid water benodig deur die plant? How much water do we need for our plants? If it's something that needs a lot of water, you can't give it less water. Ons gaan nou maar uitkom. Plantdigtheid, grondvog en reënval. So the plant density, the level of water in the soil and also our rainfall and also look at your cost, kyk na jou koste. Kom ons gaan gou aan. Explain the goal of irrigation scheduling. Wat is die doel van hierdie bestuur? Om genoeg water toe te dien sodat die plant en wortelsone heeltemal nat is, terwyl oorbenatting, waterbesparing verminder word en die grond toe te laat om tussen die toedienings uit te droog. So the idea is we want to use the water sparingly. Thus, we want as much water on the plant, but also not too much water, so the soil is oversaturated, giving the soil enough time to dry out on its own and then be ready for the next amount. So jy kan nie die hele tyd net nat grond hê nie, want dan vrot hy wortels, mos hy vrek op die oor, hy versuip. Yeah, and also the topsoil will be eroded. Now, 6.2, column A to column B. This you can go through on your own. This is a short type of question. Dis gewoonlik maar 'n kort vraag. Julle kan hom self deur hardloop. Now almost the last one, drainage is the removal of excess or free water from the upper layers of soil. Identify the 2 drainage systems that is commonly used on farm. Wat is die 2 normale dreinstelsels wat ons gebruik op die plaas? Natuurlike of die stelsel loopdrein, our natural drainage, en gewone algemene stelsel, die visgraat of geslote of klip of rooster. So the normal standard system.
Bang, bang. Adrian.
Okay, kom ons gaan aan. Briefly describe the process of building a pole drain. Beskryf kortliks die proses om 'n paaldrein te bou. Right, boys, rustig. Piramides van 3 of 6 pale, pyramids of 3 to 6 posts, word in die lengte van die bodem van 'n oop sloot gelê en bedek met gras voordat die grond opgevul word. So we put this in an open trench covered with grass before we fill this hole. Dis 'n paaldrein. Julle gaan hom nie sommer in julle boeke kry nie. Discuss 3 disadvantages of closed drains. Wat is 3 nadele van geslote terreine? Installeerkoste is hoog. Verstoppings kan van tyd tot tyd plaasvind. Voorkom en is duur om te herstel en installering vereis tegniese vaardighede en kennis. So installing there's a high installation cost. It can cause blockages which gives off money. You have to start paying for blockages to fix it. And the last one is installing this helps with to install it you need technical knowledge. Nie enige aap kan dit doen nie. Ek kan nie verwag dat 'n ou wat nie opgelei is dit vir my moet installeer nie. 6.4. There is a sketch in your JOPs, you'll find the sketch. In julle JOP het ek dit vir julle ingesit. Daai sketch is op besproeiing, die spesifieke sketch. Give the reason for placing the outlet pipe. Now, where's the outlet pipe? There we go. Of the drainage field at the top level of the septic tank. Hoekom is die uitlooppyp op die bo level van die septic tank? Say again? It's almost like an overflow, yes. Slegs water, sonder soliede deeltjies moet by die boonste pyp uitvloei. So dan in die grond werk nie. So only water must flow out. So it's like an overflow, Rick. It's basically the water must flow out, but not any solid things. We don't want your bodily waste to spill out onto the land, only the water. Hi, sushi, voor jy gaan deadlift by die gym. Name 5 components of a wastewater system. Wat is 5 komponente? Wat is 5 komponente van 'n afvalwaterstelsel? Enige huishoudelike komponent wat aan die vuil waterstelsel gekoppel is. Septiese tank, verdelingskas, absorberingsveld, vuilput, PVC en dan ook die lugbewventilasiepyp. So any component of the house coupled to our system is one of the components. Any septic tank, any absorbing field, the vuilput, any long drop basically, any PVC coupling, and any air or ventilation pipe is part of this system. Why do we have to have a ventilation pipe? Why can't we just leave the stench in there? Toxic, noxious gases. We have to get that out. You don't want that smell. You don't want to wake up smelling grandmother. Wil aan nie ruikie. Die reuk, hy bou op. Dit kan toksies. Dit vir ouma in die gat gegooi in plaas van 'n dooie kat. Ja, dat hou langer. Name 3 factors that will kill microorganisms in a septic tank system. 3 faktore wat mikroorganismes sal doodmaak in 'n septic tank. And this can be anything from handy Andy to bleach to a lot of sunlight water from your washing machine. Yes. We gotta say that in English now. So daar's 'n hele lys, guys. Anything that has a cleaning solution in it can cause microorganisms to die in a septic tank. And we know that we need microorganisms to break down all the sewage in that septic tank. Otherwise, we have to what? Pump it out. And if you're on a farm, you have to pay somebody to do it, which will cost you a lot of money. Mense op die plaas, as die septic tank vol raak, dan moet jy daai die vuil water in vul is, moet julle dan basies self uitpomp. It's not nice to suck your own septic tank clean. You saw it on Dirty Jobs. Alright, what a dice it. That is our lesson for the day. And that's it. Lekker naweek vir julle boys.